Alright guys, so we've got Maldhar and Ubetnir facing off in the Deathmatch World Cup 5 group stages. This is the yearly $10,000 Deathmatch tournament for AoE2, the biggest tournament of the year. So we've got Ubetnir here in the Saracens, Maldhar here in the Slavs. So Ubetnir's actually a little bit faster with the initial harass run. Maldhar actually slightly wide here. So Ubetnir trying to focus down the Vil. There's already a Halb here on defense. Some good garrison micro there. So Maldhar killing Ubetnir's Hussar. Gets his own harass off. Unable to kill a villager in either case. So we are on pretty even footing right now. No one's really dropped a villager. And no one's... well... Ubetnir's actually slightly ahead on Vil Pop, sorry. In fact, Ubetnir pulling ahead by another couple of villages there. But he will drop some more camels. And in the meantime, yeah, Ubetnir, Maldhar for now, let's just go with the Halbs and adding some workshops and defensive castles. Ubetnir continuing to stream in camels. And he's switching to HCAs now. So we've got a bunch of ranges here for Ubetnir. He's starting to transition into town centres back at home. Not seeing any castles early on just yet. Well, Maldhar's adding his own pair of town centres, but he is getting a pair of castles. I don't know if they're town centre there. So Ubetnir has the building lead here, but Maldhar actually slightly ahead in terms of his army pop right now. It's mostly in Halbs though. So Maldhar trying to make it work, pushing out with the infantry. So if you can get a good catch on some Vils, this can be really worthwhile. And especially if your opponent's going to look at mostly defending with cavalry, because they're the fastest thing to defend with. Big fight going on down here now. Both players adding siege onagers in, but Ubetnir's still just bringing his across. That's a nice couple of shots there from Maldhar. The tiniest bit of friendly fire on Maldhar's units, but now he's looking really safe. Ubetnir has those HCAs to at least ward off the Halbs. You've got to be very careful against this comp. You need to be microing really well, watching the army really well whenever you're taking engagements. The HCAs going down there. Ooh. So both players losing 2 siege onagers apiece. Ooh, actually 3 to 4 now. Ubetnir getting a nice snipe there. But he's being raided right now by Maldhar. And so, Ubetnir still holding that Vil lead slightly. He will clean up this raid, but at least he's being slowed down quite significantly on that town centre there. Well, Ubetnir trying to raid Maldhar, not too successful there. 4 of the HCAs dying to 1 siege onager shot. They do finally pick it off. Ubetnir she's starting to really slightly pull ahead in the Vils now. There must be a slight bonus that Saracens has for them. But Maldhar moving across with Halb siege onager at the moment. Ubetnir pushing out with HCAs. So the HCAs really beat the Halbs, but they really struggle against the onagers unless they're microed extremely well. Transitions to Mamelukes, so they're a bit short of range. But if you sort of treat them like a melee unit that can engage from a short range, they're pretty good. It's hard to use them effectively against the siege onagers because they're just perfectly that far back to cop a minimum range attack, because I think the minimum range for the onagers must be 3 range. It's a good catch here for Maldhar. He's going to slow down Ubetnir's good catch here for Ubetnir, sorry. He's going to slow down Maldhar's castles and get a couple of kills, but he needs to be careful to not take shots like that. As well, he did force the Boyars to tank a bit of damage. He did lose a few HCAs for his trouble. And a little build attempt here, I think must have been cancelled by Maldhar. That's been denied, sorry. So, Vil counts starting to favour Maldhar now. He has a slight military lead at the moment. So Ubetnir trying to pinch a bit of stone off his opponent, one of the more finite resources on the map. And the Boyars can actually take the HCAs quite well. Pierce armor for days. So this is going to force use of the Mamelukes, I'm sure. Which are also again going to struggle a little bit against the Onagers, so I think Maldhar might have found a comp. Made it hard for his opponent to engage on here. There's a big Dreb count there from Maldhar, or Ubetnir doing his best to hold out, but at least only got a couple of bombards and Trebs left. It's going to be tough. Oh, in saying that, he's got just enough. The Onagers actually able to clean up the Trebs there. So Maldhar losing quite a bit of value, but meanwhile he's pushed in with this little side force. Although he probably could have just stayed and picked off the gold, perhaps. So Ubetnir really tightening things up now. Manning a great defense there. Eco Pop's really starting to favour Maldhar now though. So while he's going to struggle to mount multiple engagements now, he's also at least going to maintain Eco lead from here. Unless Ubetnir really mass up some more Vils. That's right now. Ubetnir struggling for food. That's tough because I mean he probably wants to keep up production of these Mamelukes. Some of his own camels even. There's a lot of Boyars from Maldhar here who've started to creep ahead in terms of score at the moment. Little side build attempt here, not going all that well. The outpost is going to be in range of the castle. Or some HCAs just scouting around, denying any potential army move out or side build going on unannounced. This Treb in range to hit that castle, but at the same time those villagers can just melee it down. Morka going to keep creeping forward with the castles now. Like I said, villagers able to melee down the Treb before the Boyars able to pick them all off. Although they are all going to die now. So both our players really surging ahead in terms of villager pop now. They're all going to be fighting with like 30 to 40 army pop armies. Such a huge eco behind it. It's sort of like supremacy in the late game now. So Boyars chipping away at all the Vils. Maldhar really wants to gut Ubetnir's eco, stop him from intercepting him in terms of the villager pop and surpassing him, if you can help it. So Maldhar, I think, is a slight eco lead here, but now Ubetnir is caught up in terms of that eco pop, so it's really starting to even out, but now Maldhar's slightly bigger army. These Halbs aren't going to be able to stick around much longer, but at least they do stack up the units, so the Onager was able to get a good couple of shots off there. And these Boyars will be able to sit under the Trebs. If the Siege Onagers take a fight here, it might not be so good. Oh, that was a nice shot though. So Ubetnir hanging on, and Maldhar probably... Oh, he's really keen to get those Trebs, but he's not going to get both of them. Maldhar's in his base once again with the Boyars. He wants to try and snipe as many of these farmers as he can. can get through to the back, past all the castles, he can deal a lot of damage. Still that little villager on her own. So things really starting to slow down now. Maldhar actually starting to lose his little score lead that he's built up. So Ubetnir actually going all the way up to 162 vills here, 165 I think, and then just dropping a couple to the castle. But he wants to try and at least safe gather what he can out of that gold. Well, Maldhar's going to try and forward gather the gold if he can, because he's basically stealing that gold straight out of his opponent's mouth. Well, straight out of his opponent's pocket. Food out of your mouth. But all the Mamelukes, they're able to get the onagers, but most of them do fall. So they are going to clean up all the onagers, but a minimal number of them are going to make it back out alive. And more halbs being spammed now. The Maldhar, but just going to clean up some of the Mamelukes, and you don't really want your onagers taking a shot when you've got non-trash units fighting trash units at melee like that. It's really only when it's sort of, I guess, the other way around, or you know you're going to be able to pull back the units in time. Maldhar trying to steal some more gold here from Ubetnir. It's a very nice, even matchup, this one. Yeah, Ubetnir trying to make things work with his hussars. He's sort of restricted to trash now. He's really running out of gold, out of resources. I think Maldhar's in much of a better economic situation, although he does have a little bit of gold. Now he's pinching that gold off his opponent now too. Oh, and now Maldhar's eco, I think he's actually looked at cutting some of it, because he's down at 128 eco pop right now. Well, he's just continuing to push, and he's managed to bring Ubetnir down another 10 eco pop or so. Our players are getting close to mining out here. We'll be just wood chopping soon. Repair time being spent on these castles, which is important because it's really both eating up the villager time and then chewing through your stone as well. Like Maldhar is going to have to trade gold into stone and eventually wooden food into gold, then into stone to keep repairing. Hussars beelining these onagers. Ubetnir can actually look at pushing forward with his trebs now. Lose one there. There's a few workshops here to keep pumping out more onagers, and for now, Maldhar can afford to keep producing them. So he's going to get some halbs in as well, because he should be able to clean up the hussars really quickly. So I think it's a do or die here from Ubetnir. He's managed to snatch back his gold mine. At the same time, Maldhar's actually pinched a couple hundred gold out of it. And so if you can try and deny Maldhar here, he can really flip the scores. He needs to be careful not to lose too much, because Maldhar is cleaning this up really, really well. With all the halbs. Hussar coming in, but he's going to take 2 quick hits and fall over. And now Maldhar going on the offensive. He's got the same comp of halb, onager, tread. He's really making it hard for Ubetnir to actually engage him with anything here. He can wipe up a lot of the farms, a lot of wood down the drain for his opponent. A lot of the villagers having to go back to gathering wood, and at this stage of the game probably a little bit inefficiently. Nice micro there by Ubetnir to kill the trebs, but he's only going to get 2 or 3. At least he's managed to slow down this attack for now. But Maldhar is trying to get on top of the farms. While he's focusing down that lumber camp. What did the lumber camp ever do to you, man? Some of the juicy villagers here. If you hit them with the omegas, ooh, he gets all of them. Really nasty, picking off 6 of them in the shot there. Town center's going to fall. And as each of these drop-off buildings falls, Ubetnir's going to have to put more and more of them towards the back and shift the farmers further and further back. It's costing him resources and it's messing with his income now. It's starting to really dip in terms of score for sort of the first time in this game. He's been really neck and neck with Maldhar, but Maldhar is really pushing well from here. Maldhar's even... can't tell if Ubetnir's actually sniped a couple of ills or if Maldhar's just deleted some, but Maldhar's actually creeping forward with Raxes because he wants to just go for the final kill because of unless Ubetnir can get a castle or 2 up here at home, there's sort of nothing he can do. And these Rams with the infantry garrison, they've got increased mobility. And at any time, the Halbs can get evacuated to take a fight on the Mamelukes and then re-garrison. So these castles, not long for this world. Over here, the forward-built barracks is still proving to be a real hazard for Ubetnir. He's got to try and take an engagement with the Mamelukes, who, being such a short-range cavalry unit, have to micro really well against such a cheap throwaway unit. And at this stage of the game, you're only like naturally getting wooden food. You're not really getting any gold, so it's a hard fight to take. You don't want to be throwing away a food gold unit or a wood gold unit for a wood food unit. Got a forward-built castle as well. This is really getting rough for Ubetnir now. GG. That's game number 1, guys. Maldhar is 1-0 in the series.